Hi friends, a very warm welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to see a story titled To Catch a Thief, published in the Gokulam magazine. So let's move towards the story. Raghu sat curled up in an armchair. A book lay open on the floor beside him. He was frowning, lost in thought. Hi Raghu, lost all your money? All your ship's record? I teased as I entered his room. Raghu was startled out of his reverie. Oh, he said, I didn't hear you come in. I'm thinking about the thieves in this story. You see, they're after a man who. Oh no, he will never stop now. I thought in dismay. I wish he wouldn't read this rubbish. Raghu was very fond of detective stories. His father was a police inspector. He himself wished to grow and become a detective. What an exciting life he would lead then. I'm catching up on all the latest techniques, he would say and turn up his collar. I just finished school and then I'll be ready to be a detective. Raghu liked to sit by the window and daydream. He thought only of trapping thieves and catching smugglers. He watched for strange looking men and kept a sharp eye on their behavior. Whenever a new idea occurred to him, he would turn to me and ask his favorite question, What do you think? Of course, he never waited for an answer. Whenever he asked me that question, I would put my head in my hands and, and groan. A diamond ring is stolen. It belongs to a very rich man who has a wife and a brother, a cook, and the story was always involved. It would always end up with, What do you think? And before even I could think of begin to think, he would start explaining and listing the endless possibilities. Slowly, I noticed that Raghu's schoolwork began to slide. He and I had always been among the top rankers. Suddenly, Raghu was nearer to the last rank than the first. His marks were very poor. He began to buy more detective novels, and these he devoured with great relish. One day he appeared in school with a pair of dark glasses. Hey Raghu, if a smuggler stands beside you now, it will be difficult to tell the gangster from the cop, teased one of the boys. Everyone roared with laughter, but Raghu didn't care. A detective must wear dark glasses so that he can observe people without being spotted by them. Oh, stop it, Raghu, I cried in exasperation. Raghu desperately wanted a pair of binoculars and kept pestering his father for a pair. Finally, his father gave him one and kept him awfully busy. He would peer through them at people on the streets, on the comings and the goings in the neighboring buildings. Then his dearest wish came true. When his uncle came to stay, he brought Raghu a splendid camera. Raghu spent all his money on film for the camera. He photographed everyone whom he thought looked like criminals. Raghu developed a deep distrust of men who wore birds or long-side birds. He would follow them and photograph them and try to keep track of their actions through his binoculars. I tried to argue with him. Raghu, birds and whiskers are in thing today, I said in exasperation. You'll come to grief one of these days or look a real fool. Of course, it was useless. Look that man, said Raghu urgently. He's staring at that coconut tree. Is he watching for a signal? I shook my head. Coconut trees, my foot. Try for a little common sense and learn to mind your own business. If you paid the attention to this foolishness into your textbooks, you might do better in class for a change. Do you realize you have exams next week? You and your exams, muttered Raghu. All right, I'm going home. You can gape at the coconut tree, I said angrily and walked off in a huff. One day our classmate lost his pen. Raghu was immediately on the job. When did you use it last? What color is it? The questions spewed forth in an endless stream. The boy who had lost the pen was irritated. Raghu, leave me alone. It's just an old pen. I don't care for it. It's lost. Just stop these silly questions. This isn't a murder mystery. You can't cross-examine me. I would have sunk through the floor in embarrassment, but Raghu did not turn a hair. He came up to me and He came up to me and tried to go on with his speculation. As he said, "What do you think?" I interrupted him. "You know what I think, Raghu? Really? I think your manners are deplorable. Why don't you learn to draw the line?" One evening, Raghu was alone at home. He opened the door and he was very happy to see me. The exams were getting closer and I had been studying hard. There was no time for visiting friends. "Oh, good. I'm glad you came. Dad and Mum are out of town. Why don't you stay overnight?" asked Raghu, leading me to his room. A book open on his table. I wasn't surprised to see that it was a thriller. "Scared, are you? Is the great detective nervous of being alone?" I asked. "No, I feel like company. This is so boring otherwise," said Raghu. "I'm not afraid." I phoned my parents and then chatted with Raghu for a while. As usual, our conversation kept veering to smugglers, robbers, and the like. "Let's turn in now, Raghu," I said. "Sure, come on," he replied. We both went to his room and I was startled to see a gun lying on the bed. Taken aback, I asked him, "What's this, Raghu?" "That's a fake pistol." "Doesn't it look like a real gun?" asked Raghu with a great satisfaction. "What's it for?" I asked curiously. "I like to be prepared. It will come in useful. Just in case if there is a break in, I can use to frighten the robber." He pointed to a row of switches along the bed. "These are to turn on the lights on the porch, the kitchen and the garden," he said. I watched in amazement as Raghu prepared for bed. He placed a stout stick, a length of a rope, a small knife and the pistol by his pillow. The burglar will have a collection of weapons to choose from, I thought in amusement. I pulled the covers over myself. I could hear Raghu opening and shutting the cupboards. Did he ever sleep? I wondered, and then I slept. It was dark and someone was shaking my shoulder. It was Raghu. "What is it?" I asked irritatedly. "Shh! Wake up and come to the window. There are thieves hiding behind the bushes." Raghu was pale. His voice trembled and his hands were clammy with the perspiration. "Oh yeah," I said disbelievingly. "Why is he hiding? Is he shy? Poor chap, ask him to come and rest," I said sarcastically. "There's more than one of them, I tell you," said Raghu. "I'm sure they are armed. We have only a fake gun. What shall we do?" I felt him tremble again. We both crept to the window. The bushes rustled. "See," said Raghu in terror. "There is it again." Certainly there was something in the bushes, but thieves? It looked small, like could be. I began to laugh. I grabbed the fake gun and fired, turned on the garden light at the same time. "Bandicoots!" I couldn't stop laughter. Raghu turned red. "Bandicoots," he repeated in a small voice. He looked at me, laughing and giggled. He too laughed at the thieves. I looked at Raghu. "Don't scare yourself, silly, with all these stories, Raghu. You know it's a waste of time. Do well at school. That's really important. I'm sure you'll make a great detective when the time comes." "Yes, you are right," said Raghu, and he looked up at me with a grin. "I have been a bit silly, haven't I? I shall give up the detection and crime for a while and start studying for those exams. Come on, let's go back to the bed." So this was the story To Catch a Thief, published in the Gokulam magazine. Till I come back with a new video and a new episode and a new story. Till then, stay safe, take care. This is your Chandamama signing off.